It's Wednesday, March 8th, and here are the 5 stories we're following for you today at FingerLakes1.com. Questions are swirling in the city of Geneva days after a petroleum-like substance leaked from a 250-gallon container on a vacant-appearing piece of property in the city. That leak resulted in a significant spill into the city's stormwater system, which led into Marsh Creek, then the north end of Seneca Lake. The DEC and city have been working to clean up the spill, but photos captured by Greg Cotterill from Finger Lakes News Radio showed petroleum remnants on the ground Tuesday afternoon. Area residents also reported an odor in the air at the spill site, days after state and local officials said it was contained. Who owns the property? How much was ultimately spilled? And what are the long-term effects to local residents? Those are just a few of the questions residents are asking as they await an official response from the city. In state news, Governor Kathy Hochul came under fire from county leaders for her Medicaid plan, which would be partially paid for by school districts cutting property taxes. Hochul is seeking to shift Medicaid money away from county governments, which has worried county officials who are warning of potential property tax increases. Hochul has defended the proposal, arguing that school districts, which have received state and federal aid, can cut their taxes. Schools argue, though, that they are struggling with inflation, teacher and bus driver shortages, and other issues that make reducing budgets tough through tax cuts. Good news for thrifty shoppers in the Finger Lakes. The Thrifty Shopper store in Seneca Falls will hopefully be reopening in the coming days. The store was shut down in late February after heavy rain and ice caused major roof issues. When code enforcement officers inspected the space after the initial rain-induced flood damage, they deemed the building unsafe and not in compliance. Store management told the Finger Lakes Times on Tuesday that they were hopeful about reopening next week. A new proposal in the New York State Assembly would help communities impacted by recent prison closures. The Butler Correctional Facility is one of many throughout the state that has been shuttered in the last decade. Now, a proposal by 2 downstate assemblymen would effectively pay the taxes on these properties. Counties and towns have been forced to eat the financial losses that came along with those closures. If approved, both Seneca and Wayne counties in the Finger Lakes region could see payments for closed prison and drug treatment facilities. And finally, another update on the state's unemployment fraud saga. New York State paid out roughly $105 billion in unemployment benefits following a surge in jobless claims triggered by the coronavirus pandemic. Fraudulent claims accounted for roughly 3.8% of them, totaling nearly $4 billion. Worse yet, foreign cyber criminals were likely responsible for the fraud, leaving investigators with the state little hope of recovering the money. Of course, while thousands of New Yorkers went weeks and months without being able to receive timely unemployment benefits during the pandemic due to an outdated technical system, that same system allowed for billions in fraud to occur. Follow FLX today on TikTok and Finger Lakes One on YouTube for daily updates and breaking news from the FingerLakes1.com team.